What's going on YouTube? In the IG live that you're about to watch between myself and .com Drew, we talked all things about wholesale, about suppliers, about our virtual assistants, scheduling, and there was even some distributors that were mentioned in the video too. So go ahead, check it out, let me know what you think, give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and feel free to ask any questions. What's going on, guys? Drew should be coming in here in a moment. Just gonna write a little question in here. I'm curious if you like Freddy or Jason, since today is Friday the 13th. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Just getting situated here. Your video looks good. Does mine look all right?
Yeah, am I blocked? Am I blocked off? I see it kind of like a portrait mode. I'm not sure if that's just for me.
Oh no, I think it's just for you.
Oh, okay, cool.
I mean, I can literally see like right here by your chin, and then launch up here. So.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Holy man, we got a lot of people coming in here. Hey, Big West, what's going on? Circa Resells, what's up?
Cool, thank you.
I was just gonna say, you know, some of these folks, we got Real Jasmo in here. Jason.
Hey, we got the goats in here.
Yeah, he's the wholesale master. Oh, the Rooster Hustle. Hey, man. What's up, buddy?
Oh, bro,
okay,
you on Lakers be live.
Oh, of course.
I'm going to go join them. No, I'm just kidding.
Big West is whipping out those zucchinis already. That's kind of disturbing. God.
Hey, we got to get him on live. I already told him.
Yeah, well, one of us has got to. He's a character. He is a character.
Right.
It's crazy how many similarities we have. I mean, there's some, not everything, but it's crazy, man. But I think a lot of resellers kind of have different things.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. But yeah, man, how's your day going though?
It's going good. Just sent off some emails this morning. Got my team ready for the day. I'm pretty much just going over all our spreadsheets from last night, just double checking everything and getting it off. But it's been going good, man. How about yourself?
Oh, a lot of the same. I just was doing a lot of computer work today, and I did pack up a shipment over there. But yeah, just trying to juggle stuff, you know. Especially with the not so smart idea of telling my boss yes to 4 hours a week.
Yeah. So how's that going? So you're really doing the 4-hour work week.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. The book. I don't know. It's weird because they move so slow. So my desk is the same. I can still log in the computer. I can still get in the spreadsheets, and pretty much everything is the same. Like they got a new fridge, so that's about it.
Yeah, dude. I thought that was hilarious how you were saying it's kind of like going back to an old girlfriend, or I think that's what you said, right?
Yeah.
Man, that must be awkward.
Yeah, it's strange. It's strange, man. Yeah, that was
cool that they let you do that.
Yeah. I mean, he called me and it was his idea. Originally, he wanted me to do 2 days a week, and I was like, I can't do that. How about 4 hours? And he's like, okay.
Wow.
So it's kind of weird.
Hey, that's that value.
Yeah, that's right. And like I say, some people ask, like, so did you ask for more money or whatever? But no, because that silver lining is, since I'm at restaurants, that's what I'm doing for those 4 hours. I can approach the restaurant and at least mention the idea of the Merch by Amazon thing. I don't know.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that Reezy episode that I put up in the story, but that guy, he's in like LA or whatever, so Cali by you, and he just approaches restaurants and says like, hey, it's something to the effect like, would you like more sales? Like, would you like to do some kind of promotion? Like on Wednesday, if you wear your, mountain shirt or whatever, you get 30% off because.
Right.
Yeah. Because some of the advantages were like the customer would probably wear it all day, so you get that exposure and that kind of stuff.
Dude, that actually makes sense because I'm like, there's embroidery businesses and there's like shirt companies. So I mean, if they're not already doing that, there's a ton of B2B business to take advantage of. And Merch by Amazon kind of just allows you to drop ship that, right? Pretty much like you create it for them. You're not investing any of the initial capital, right?
Correct. Yeah, it would be their graphic crew. the graphic.
Wow.
You know,
That's easy.
Yeah, he made it sound slick. And it's an old video. I don't know. Again, I don't know if you looked it up or not, but it's like early last year, I think, or maybe it was the year before.
What I would even do is like look for those people on LinkedIn, look for those business owners on LinkedIn, and then send out emails to those people, because you can find the direct email on LinkedIn, and then that just allows you to, you know, touch multiple businesses as opposed to just restaurants. Because I think, you know, even if it's for like corporate events, like corporate companies buy shirts for themselves, and I'm sure a smaller company, if the money makes sense, like, you know, I'm sure it could be easy to get some pretty solid deals with that. That's pretty interesting. I hadn't heard of that.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I thought, yeah, pretty smart. I like what you said about LinkedIn, though, because that kind of adds another layer of like getting more done in a shorter time / maybe like farming it out.
Yeah, so he just said, so Mark Stark just said you can target them on Facebook with their job titles, and that does make sense. And then you can also utilize like Zoom Info as an additional layer on top of that to grab like the actual CEO's information. I mean, not
Zoom Info, you said?
Yeah, so Zoom Info is a great tool. Pretty much allows you to get like owner's information. So let's say, you know, if you're registered with your state, I could look you up, and if the company has your data, which they have tons of data, you just go in there and look the company up, and then go and find, you know, email them directly. So you don't have to go through the gatekeepers and things like that.
Yeah, that'd be direct. Sorry, it paused because my battery thing came up, but I got a battery, so no worries. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, I never heard of Zoom Info, so I'll have to write that down. But, yeah. What about you, Drew? As I understand it, you're still in a full-time position currently?
Yeah, so my position is, I guess, a little different. It allows me the flexibility to kind of, you know, as long as I come in at the end of the month and hit my targets, then I'm good. And so pretty much I sell like day to day. I consult businesses on like technology use, so like data, infrastructure, cybersecurity, IT, things like that. But because we work B2B, you know, I don't necessarily have to be at my office all the time. So I work from home 4 days a week, but I do commute a couple hours on Monday. But that just kind of allows me to, you know, if I finish my work early, then I'm able to kind of work on Amazon, and it allows me to kind of build both at the same time. So yeah, man, I still work full time. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. Okay. I never knew about the position, like if it was 40 hours a week or whatever. But yeah, so you're in like a consultant position that you can do from home a lot then.
Yeah, so pretty much like, because the clients that we have are fairly large, you know, so some of them aren't only in California, and so we have to kind of deal with them all the time. And so I just work from home most of the time. I like it.
No, that sounds like a sweet job.
I mean, it's good and bad, right? Everybody says it's great, but the issue is like I'm kind of always on, and so I always have to be able to support them if they need it. Which, you know, we have the relationships that I built now. It's, you know, that was something I had to do initially, but now it's more maintenance, trying to get them to continue growing, just more farming those accounts. So it's definitely flexible enough to where it's helped me to grow like Amazon and everything that I'm doing on the side.
Okay, sure, yeah, that'd be nice to have a job like that, where as long as you're like pulling your load or whatever and getting it done, however you get it done, then you can potentially fit 12 hours of work into like 3 if, you know, you're efficient or whatever and you're successful in what you're doing, I guess.
Yeah, and so I was talking to one of my buddies. He was planning on leaving soon, and what I told him is like, you know, there's a ton of great opportunities with like freelancing, and like when you leave to be, I mean, depending on what skills you have, obviously, but when you leave a company, the biggest thing is like insurance, that stable income. So I think a lot of people that like I work with initially get into freelancing. And so that's kind of their entry level side hustle, I would say. And so, I think it's just you got to kind of figure out what you want to do. Like it's a hard play.
Mm. Well, it sounds like you found that balance, though. Give a couple shout outs here. Hi, T. Blag, Mark Start, what's up? Carl and Dealey play pickleball.
Hey, what's up, Nate? How's it going, Christos?
Oh, Christos is in here too? All right. Jake Steeds, Arturo.
Oh, what's up, Jake?
He's all over the place, man. He's been doing some wholesale stuff too, I noticed.
Yeah, you guys are grinding, man.
So speaking of your business then, because you started talking about that, how long have you been doing Amazon for?
So I started with private label end of 2017, I believe it was. I did that I played that out for some months. I lost money, and then I ended up finding very small margins in a product, and I stayed with that just to try to regain some of my capital. Then I went into online arbitrage, but I started around at the end of 2017. I believe it was right before Halloween that year.
Nice. So you started at a good time of year then, because that's before Q4 and.
Yeah, but I actually didn't take advantage of any of
my internet, guys. I don't know if I'm cutting out or you're cutting out this time, Drew. You said something about not taking advantage.
Yeah, so I wasn't able to take advantage of Q4 that year just because I started off with private label. So I didn't even I hadn't done any research about what were the opportunities within retail arbitrage or online arbitrage that year. I was really focused on trying to I had put in a ton of capital into manufacturing that product, and then so it was just trying to focus on that and get that going, so that's all I was really concerned about. But yeah, I missed out on 2017 Q4. So last year was my first Q4.
Last year's Q4, okay. Yeah, it's just a great time. But yeah, you originally started with private label. Okay. I know I wanted to get into it, but it ended up being a waste. Long story short, I picked a product that became restricted, and so my idea went nowhere. But
yeah, I had the same issue. So when I initially had manufactured my product, I didn't know that it was hazmat. So once I got it, then I realized that it was hazmat, and I had to go through all of those things. But luckily, my manufacturer helped me out through that. But it was just a ton of headaches. Especially, I was just getting started on Amazon, and so I was kind of learning the ropes, and so yeah, pretty much. It was a
fidget spinner.
Yeah.
I actually bought some fidget spinners too, but I ended up donating them and then writing them off at cost, which that's not financial advice, guys. It's kind of crooked, but yeah. I actually bombed in that idea.
So how's everything been with you, man?
Oh, pretty good, man. It's been a juggle though. It's been a juggle. I said not screw it, but I said, all right, retail arbitrage, only doing this 1.5 days a week, no more. So I'll typically have a full day and then a half day. It isn't usually 3 half days. So then
outsourcing.
I don't know if I'm going to outsource, or I don't know if I'm just going to focus only on online arbitrage and wholesale. I think
I'm saying that's a day and a half where you're actually out there sourcing.
Oh, I thought you said outsourcing. I missed the. Yeah, that's actually a day and a half. I mean, ish. I would say from 8 to 5 to 1 day, and then a half day for 5-ish hours. So
yeah.
Pretty close.
So now you're focusing more on wholesale and online arbitrage.
Yeah. Yep. So getting the VAs to purchase more and more and more every week, just because then it takes some burden off me, and then also turning those wheels in wholesale, even though it's been a slow process.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, wholesale is interesting. I know we were talking about it a little bit, but so let's recap kind of because we met at ASD, so let's kind of recap what you found from there. Was it successful for you?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I mean, I had a sprained ankle at the time, so I was more or less had a list of like vendors and booth numbers, and I just went down the aisles and just hit them all that way. So it didn't leave much open to like finding somebody that maybe I didn't come across, but there were still a few.
Right.
But yeah, I got probably like 15-ish cards, maybe 20-ish cards, and then it took me a little bit to email them all, and then about 7 of them came back with price lists, so just kind of working through those. So it was worth it. It was worth it. And what about you?
So I initially I had thought that it was pretty successful. So after we left, I thought it was I thought it was worth the time. Now, kind of looking back and looking through those accounts and reviewing some of the spreadsheets that they sent over, I really only found one company that I ended up buying from, and I ended up creating like an XPath through tactical arbitrage to be able to like consistently see their products. But overall, maybe because I was rushed, I didn't really spend any time developing any relationships there. I was just more so trying to get the information and seeing if they were open to selling to Amazon sellers. So maybe there was something that I did incorrectly, but I found greater success in just contacting like businesses directly through like distributors or suppliers, but doing lead sourcing.
Okay, yeah, like you go to Amazon's bestsellers, you find products that you like, then you try to track down who's making it or who's selling them and such.
Yeah, so pretty much what I do is I scrape sellers' inventory for top producing products, and I have a spreadsheet that pretty much like calculates estimated net profit, and then so from there I hit the ones that give me over 30%, and then from those, once they send me the sheet is like when I actually find if those products are profitable. So.
Okay, so you're doing like a store stalker on the sellers and then kind of working through that.
Okay. Yeah, so we use Storefront Stalker. We use Tactical Bucket. I think there's a couple more. I can't think of them right now, but yeah, we use a few.
Okay, no, that's a good way of doing it too. Yeah, I guess there's several ways. I know that for sure. I haven't had the chance to compare what the VA's finding yet because I'm waiting till that database is built up to about 150, and then we're going to start reaching out to the people. But right now, it's just gathering like what is the product, who's selling it, what's the company, what's the contact, what's the email, that kind of thing.
Right.
Speaking of that, though, there was a question about negotiation and wholesale. What kind of success have you had with it, or how do you go about it?
So I'm trying. So here's my issue right now. Is so I ran into like pretty much hitting my budget for the end of the year because I found a couple accounts that I ended up like finding good products with, and so what I started doing is now, as opposed to trying to just like buy from them, I'm really trying to develop a relationship to say, hey, these are some ways that I can fix like your listings. Just because I had that experience in private label, I have a solid foundation of what works. I don't obviously, I don't have success with like launching a big brand, but at least I have like the foundation. And so most of these like smaller businesses that I found when I reached out to them, like don't have anybody dedicated to Amazon, and they're pretty much trying to do it themselves. But the issue is that they don't have any time to really focus on it because they're focusing on their main business, right? And so like now what I'm trying to do is instead of negotiating, trying to develop a relationship to figure out a way of like how we can partner where I can handle their Amazon. I can handle like offsite as well. So like running, just regular e-commerce sites for them. And so hopefully doing that. I found a couple people that were interested, and I have one exclusivity account right now. But hopefully, I can find like more success with that, and trying to develop relationships that way, and hopefully try to figure out that issue with capital. Like because I'm gonna continue facing that. My issue is like I found the products now. It's more so do I have enough money to buy it? So I'm being very picky now, and so it's really just trying to figure out the right process for like what I'm trying to do because I'm not trying to like go into a huge warehouse. Like that's not my personal goal, and so I'm really trying to build this up to where I can like have it pretty much outsourced at least 80%, and so that's kind of what we're running into now.
Okay, so that's a good problem to have, I would say, though, that you have a bunch of cash.
Oh yeah, it is. I wish I had more money to invest, but it's a calculated risk for sure. I could throw it on credit cards or I could go get a loan. I mean, I'm comfortable with the cash flow that we're getting right now, and I'm comfortable with being able to cover those payments. But I don't think it's really necessary for me right now. Like I'm not. I am happy with where we got to this year, and I feel like we're going to continue to grow through Q4. So I'm like happy with where we're at. So I'm not trying to push it too hard and have it break before the end of the year because, as you know, like Q4 is it's like super time consuming. It's a crazy time of the year, especially if you're doing RA or OA. And so I'm really just anything that we get from now on is really just going to be like super picky if I have really good margins on it. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. How about yourself?
It sounds kind of, just to recap kind of what you're saying, it sounds like yeah, it's a good problem to have for sure, but you kind of have like the same goal that I have because I was talking to Will actually. I think he left here because he's already sourcing or whatever. He's Family Joyride in the chat, but he was saying the same thing, kind of like, or we were saying the same thing. Excuse me. Like it's not about like having this huge business and having 5 employees. It's everybody kind of has something different. Some people do, but other people, like myself, I kind of want to buy my first house by 2020, and rental house by 2020, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I think that was something that so I think what maintaining my career, what it allowed me to do is as I was able to bring in more income from Amazon, I honestly just put that all back into the business. And then after a while, I had a little bit of extra money coming in, and so I had that. I invest anything I can into new ventures to try to see if just to try to hit it. Obviously, I'm investing into things now that not necessarily investing, but trying out things that I feel are within my skill set, and I'm like investing into building out, just my team and what we're doing. And so I think you have to, man. I mean, Amazon is great, but at the end of the day, it's their platform, and I don't want to build my business, my long-term business, on somebody else's platform. And so eventually, I hope to have a business off of it. And so, you can kind of say that like I could possibly try to do that with consulting like the brands to help them out with Amazon, and that may turn into the actual overall business. But yeah, I think it's just changing it, and you can't really rely on having 100% of your income on somebody else's platform. I don't know. It's really risky to me. So.
That's true. And then to finally answer the negotiation question that you originally asked me, I haven't had a whole lot of success with it. I mean, I got him to take off like shipping charges before, but otherwise, only because I'm still working on like the first order from a place. You know what I mean? It's area again. I'll just plug it in now. It's not like it's a second or a replan or something like that, so I haven't been able to do too much there either. But I hear you about like providing. There we go. Providing, whether that's a listing optimization or some other kind of way that they can make their Amazon listing better. I know, maybe you say something like, "Hey, these are your competitors. and this is how many times they sell a month, and this is what I see them doing. You could probably do that if we do this, and this.
Yeah, I mean, just present data. At the end of the day, it's really no harm if you give them all the data, you lay out all the facts in front of them. They have two choices: either say yes or no, right? I mean, there's no really risk in telling them that there's these opportunities within their listing. The hard part of that is getting in contact with the person that actually makes those decisions. So I think that's more of the difficulty that people would have with that, and that's where like Zoom Info, LinkedIn, these or Facebook, like they had mentioned previously, like that's where these other platforms really help you develop your business out. But at the end of the day, I mean, if all you have is capital and all you're trying to do is buy, the only way you can negotiate is by buying more, right? Like placing a bigger order. And so, I mean, that's something that will work.
Sure. No, absolutely, I agree. Because there's they get inundated all the time by people contacting them to sell their products. For sure.
Right. Oh yeah.
And just to remind everybody, if you have any questions, please enter them down at the bottom. Big West was giving us shit. He says all the money you two make and you can't afford good internet.
Dude, I got that BIOS.
Hi, Jason. What's up? Hi, Poker. Now, what's going on? I am Connor. What's up? Oh, Kevin Reed wants to know, what does ASD stand for?
Oh, I think Wes already answered that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he schooled it. I think he schooled us.
Oh, affordable shop. Awesome. Thank you, Wes.
I didn't even know that.
All I knew was shopping destination. I forgot A, so I was like, shoot, I hope Drew knows.
No, I didn't even know.
Hi, Liam, Duffy. Dreaded Nate, are we going to post on the YouTube later? Yes, of course. Just so long as nothing goes wrong here, like it has sometimes in the past. Let's see. There was one up top that I skipped over because I was like, hey, guys, what's going on? Oh, FBA Hero, what's up? But it wasn't that. There was actually a question. Oh, Jason was the only one who answered if he liked Freddie or Jason, and of course he picked Jason.
Freddie or Jason, huh? That's an interesting question.
I couldn't pick anything else.
I don't remember. Arturo said that he's waiting for that Google Fiber. Yeah, me too. But I don't think they're even doing that anymore.
Oh, they scrapped that project?
I believe so, because I believe it was very expensive to lay the fiber in the ground for them, and so they were trying to end. This is but yeah, I think they scrapped that project.
Huh. No kidding. I know, that's crazy, man.
So right now you have so you're doing wholesale on OA. Do you do it by yourself? I know you have a couple VA team members, right?
Yeah, yep. For the OA side, there is 8 virtual assistants. So they're doing everything from like going to Bed Bath & Beyond, going to Home Depot, going to Walmart, whatever, finding a product that we can sell on Amazon. Then there's another one that's looking at all those to make sure that what they claimed was a winner is actually a winner. And then somebody's creating shipments, somebody's creating purchasing on my behalf, and then doing like the returns and doing the unfillables. So the OA side is pretty well, squared away. The wholesale, though, is still fairly new, but she's finding about 4 leads a day with like I say, going to bestsellers, looking at products there, trying to find out where they can source them from, who they can contact, who the email is, all that kind of thing.
And so with those, what software are you using on top of that?
For like a CR, like for
so how are
Slack.
So how are you essentially like scraping like Amazon, or are you doing that manually?
Yeah, I just showed them how to do it manually, like to niche down and then niche down again, and then just kind of start with the best selling ones that have a certain sales rank, sell for a certain dollar amount, and then manually search. Unfortunately,
yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, like I say, she's still finding about 4 a day on top of her regular duty of purchasing and reviewing performance on the VAs and that kind of thing.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So ideally, though, I want it to 10. I just haven't delegated or transferred over enough duties yet.
Right. So Arturo said, what kind of budget do you guys set up for your sourcing, and are you guys paying yourselves or just reinvesting all the money? So you can go ahead and
start that. Yeah. So the way that we budget, it could probably use a little bit of work, but basically there's a certain target to hit every week on like a spend. And so she just works with that, and everybody kind of leads up to that. And then for the retail arbitrage part of it, I don't really do too much of a budget since I'm only limited to 1.5 days now. But every month, though, I'll calculate like what were the VA costs, what were the Amazon referral fees, how much were the sales, what were the cost of the goods. Kind of know all those numbers, because knowing your numbers is super critical. So we just gradually kind of increase it about $300 every week here for the last 3 months or something. 3 months, I would say. We increased it all those. And then as far as the second part of your question about paying myself, yeah, I'm full time now, so I do. I pay myself. Is it 2,000? No, it's about $2,500 a month. So it's not so bad. But it's still sucks taking money out of the business that you could have reinvested in products. Like, do you take out any money, or are you able to?
So I'm pretty bad with all of that, honestly. Like, I don't take out any money, but when I want to put money, so I tried out selling CBD a while ago, and so I took out money that I had made from profits in Amazon, and I invested it into putting up a site for CBD. I ended up losing like most of it because we got shut down because of merchant services. And then so I don't take out money to pay myself, but I take out money to try out other things. But the core business is still Amazon. It's just, any disposable income that I see like that I could take out from the business and still keep it healthy. I'll try something else out to see if it works. I'm constantly trying to learn different things, and so I think as we grow within our business, we're going to continue evolving, and so I'm going to continue trying out different products, different tools, and so sometimes I take out of the Amazon business to be able to afford to do that.
Nice.
And then what was the other question? Budget.
Yes.
So budget, I have a different perspective on budget. I don't necessarily think, or we don't necessarily buy on a budget. We buy if a product meets our requirements. So let's say your requirements are, so everybody talks about like that $3, 30%, 30 sales per month or whatever, right? And so that's pretty much the standard. And so let's say if that was your target, if I found a product that I was able to sell, especially as a new seller, then I'm going to invest in that product, even if my margins are very minimal in the beginning, just to allow me to get ungated to more categories, increase my metrics, and honestly just build your experience, right? So instead of really trying to set a budget of what I'm gonna buy per month, I would rather set my targets. And so if a product meets my targets, because initially it's hard to find products to sell, and so if a product meets my targets, then I'm going to sell it, right? And so that's honestly how I started. And now, like I was mentioning before, we hit our budget for the year, and that's just because I don't have any money to put back into it. Because so the issue is with online arbitrage, right? You can buy 10, 100, 200. But the issue is with wholesale, you have to buy larger quantities. And so, you're investing more capital into one product. And so, obviously, you try to get their minimum order, but with shipping and stuff like that, you want to make sure it makes sense. And so, to get to squeeze out the most that we can, I tried putting in larger orders. And so that's why I ended up hitting my budget early. I wasn't really necessarily planning on investing that much back into wholesale. But I found some pretty awesome products, and so they should do well, right? Or they're estimated to do well, and so we'll figure that out as it goes. And And as far as Q4, like if something makes sense and I'm gonna make a lot of money off of it, then there's multiple ways to like fund that. So.
All right, and I didn't want to sound like I have no plan or whatever. It's just lately it's been really scaling. Well, not lately, but leading up to this last month, it was more of like getting a lower sales rank so I could have faster selling stuff because I was kind of I was in a crunch from like February to basically May. It was pretty like I still sent stuff in and my revenue was still okay, but it wasn't like I wasn't watching it, I guess, was the problem. So now that I do that every month and I know what those fees are and what my checking account says and that, it really helps to know what I have and don't have.
Right, and so and that's different, right? You being a full-time seller, it's a different dynamic than what I'm doing, and it's just that's commitment though. Like you're out there like grinding for it. Like I haven't taken that risk yet, but honestly, it's been because my position just gives me so much flexibility. It's hard to kind of step away from that. But like eventually, I don't want to work for anybody. I want to be I want to be doing my own thing. I'd rather work for myself and build something up like on my own. And so that's a goal. I just haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I mean that first month, Drew, for me was when I look back at it after when I got full time. I look back at it and I'm like, wow, like scared money doesn't make none. Like that was the result the first month. It's like I was scared to spend money or something. It was weird. Like the VA team was still doing their thing, but the RA stuff, I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to go, get shoes or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Any opinions on an ungating service? Arturo asked.
You want to go ahead and answer that first, or you?
I guess I can. I never used one, Arturo. Unfortunately, I know there's some out there. The way that I always did it though is just by like selling. So with video games, I just sold the ones I could, and with shoes, the more I thought about it now, I don't know if this is true, but I think because I was selling some clothing items and a bunch of Carter's kids clothing and that kind of stuff, because it's in clothing, I wonder if that's what led me into getting ungated in Nike and that. So that's my prevailing thought lately. So I haven't used one, unfortunately, Arturo. Have you used one, Drew?
No, same here. I haven't used one, but I don't really think it's necessary. If you want to get ungated, find the distributor of the product that you want to get ungated for. Contact them for their minimum order quantity. Find a cheap product to order from them within the same brand, and that's what you need to get ungated. So, you're gonna invest $500 somewhere, right? I don't know how much ungating services are, but I know they're pretty costly depending on which, what category you're planning to get ungated for. But if you're gonna pay $500, might as well at least get some of that as a return, because even if you liquidate that inventory, you're still gonna get some money back. You may not get 100%, but if you use an ungating service, and sorry if anybody who runs an ungating service in here, but if you're using an ungating service, you're just like giving them the money to provide that service for you. So,
trying to wave at the person. My bad.
Oh, no worries. I was reading how Wes said like some of them use fake invoices, easy way to a quick ban. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, man, I just don't think it's really necessary to use an ungating service. Like, it makes more sense to do that little bit of legwork, find the supplier, and you'll be able to get ungated on the product that you need to.
True.
So, so he said,
Nike, 3K to get ungated. Put 3K into a product that you can sell and flip it. Yeah, same thing. For sure. Yeah, no, I never used one. I mean, I'm not saying they're not all legit, but that's so true, real jazz. Everybody does, but we've been, he knows exactly because we've been talking in the DMs. It's not that great, guys. It's not that great. Like, you'll tie up a lot of money in shoes that they don't sell that fast. They really don't.
I've actually never sold shoes, so I don't know the good and bad that comes with it. And I pretty much don't even know what we sell. Like, it's just whatever makes sense, Like, I don't care what category it's in. I don't care what product it is, as long as it makes sense and it meets my criteria, then we'll buy it. But
that's the cool thing, Drew. Like, you go into your Amazon seller and you go to orders and you're like, oh, I didn't know we had those. Oh, okay. It's cool.
Yeah, man. I don't know. So I don't like. So I used to be addicted to looking at my like seller account, and so now I took it off my phone just to give me that peace of mind. And so like I get a report every morning from one of my VAs, and she lets me know like how we did. But dude, it's time consuming because you end up looking, you end up seeing like, oh, it has my stuff checked in, and so you're just like constantly on there. And so I just had to take it away because I was like, that was my IG. I was like, flipping through that. So
it's that shot of serotonin that you get when you see it. And I've been much better. I literally will check it maybe 3 times a day, and I don't spend a whole lot of time on there unless I'm doing the like recent sales thing in the story.
Right. And then so
you got the one for Christos?
Everybody wants to get on in Nike. Yeah, I mean that's great. It's honestly, for some reason I think there's this like glorification around shoes, and I don't know why. Like I understand, I guess, the hype shoes and like how much you can make off of that, but I guess you would know more of like how much you can make with selling shoes than I. But yeah, man, it's interesting for sure.
Right. No, Christos is asking, do you have exact sourcing criteria for OA?
So I personally don't source OA anymore because I run the Buyers Club, and so I don't want a conflict of interest. So I'm not sourcing OA right now, but I think that 3 times rule is pretty solid. And I know everybody has different criteria, but you can build a healthy business on 3 times of what you're selling. You can, like, the large businesses that I've worked with within the Amazon space, like I work with people that are at 10%, 8%, and so it's like you have to change your perspective of like really your top line revenue to really what you're bringing in as gross, as net. And so I think it's just a mind flip,
Okay, sure. Yeah, for me, it's generally they're looking for 30% ROIs with at least $2.70 profit. Otherwise, stay away from like hazmat products. There's a couple brands that I either got a cease and desist letter for, or we just don't sell it because of problems in the past.
And so, what do you do with the cease and desist? Do you like always stop selling?
Yeah, I mean, it happened with what's that? North Face. Mm-hmm. So I just pulled the products. There was only 2, so I didn't feel too bad. But yeah, and then I think the other one was like Philip Norelco, or the razor, the Phillips or something like that.
Yeah,
Norelco's. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I had it right the first time, I guess. But yeah, they were the other one, and I just pulled them. Like I said, I didn't have a lot, so I wasn't too worried. But you get a lot of those claims though. Real Jasmine says EE is an easy way to get ungated, and Big West says, yep, go to Entertainment Earth like everyone else. So there you go, guys. That's a nugget for you guys. I know you gotta get heading out here, so I won't keep you too much longer. Any advice for new people or people that are looking to get started?
Yeah, dude. The best day to start was yesterday or a year ago. You might as well start today if you're brand new. Don't get caught up on all the hype. Just focus on your own business. Focus on the capital that you have. Don't really. The thing is, everybody's flashy on IG, and so everybody's gonna show these big numbers. But the thing is, you don't really know what people are making at the end of the day. So just focus on like growing your own business. I think that's just, it should be your main priority.
Sure. Oh, it looks like they snuck one question in here. What do you do with your IP claims after you have brought them back? How do you liquidate them? Oh, for me, I just put them on eBay. Did you have to pull anything, Drew? Did you say?
So yeah, we pulled stuff, and yeah, we sell through eBay, but typically depends on what I'm losing out on that product. I may just get rid of it.
Oh, okay, sure. And that's what I'm gonna do, some kind of video or something about it. But that's what I'm gonna start doing too now. Like if it's a food item or something silly where there's not that much money in it, I'm just gonna donate it and then just write it off at cost. Which again, not financial advice, guys. So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You never know when somebody's gonna sue you, man. So it was awesome meeting up with you at the ASD though, like in person, to know like, yo, this is Drew. Like, you know, that was awesome. So
yeah,
you bet Christos. Sorry, I cut you off there. What was that?
I said, oh no, I don't. I said like, yeah, I'm real or something like that.
Oh yeah. So well, good stuff, man.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate you setting this up. I'm terrible with organization, so you got all of this together. So thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Appreciate you having me on.
You bet, Drew. You take care, and thanks for coming in, guys. If you guys have any follow up, just holler.
Thanks, guys.
Take care, man. Bye.